Okay, we are all live. We are set. We are connecting granny squares tonight. I haven't worked on this on live in a bit, but it's the final countdown to the wedding. So, that's what we're doing tonight. I just gotta find where I was last. God, this thing is huge now. Okay. Trying to get it oriented, but I am struggling. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Found the end. Let's grab a regular granny square out of the basket and start connecting. My goodness. Just gotta find the end again. This thing is so big. Huge. Right, there we go. Gonna go from the side. If I could get it started. Hi, Aaliyah. Welcome to the live. A little late tonight. I overslept on my nap, and then the rice cooker was taking a while. And then I got sucked into one of those like short dramas that have been going around on TikTok. Like the weird melodramatic ones. So, welcome everybody. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live, subscribe, hang out for a bit, all that lovely stuff. We are connecting granny squares tonight. There's an app where you can watch all of the ads that are like 30 minutes long. Yeah, like it's an advertisement for like real short, like short dramas. But if you wait a while, you end up seeing the whole thing on TikTok anyway. I think all the movies are on Daily Motion. They're all like hour long. They're like feature length films of dramas. Like 30 Years Frozen, Three Brothers Regret. I don't know why, but I've been eating stuff like that up lately. Like the writing and acting is god awful, and yet you want to know what happens. 3. Oops, I forgot. I have to be putting a chain one in between each ones. It's been a bit since we've connected Square. Oh yeah, Daily Motion. Yeah, all the apps, the ads are like, oh, real short. And when I Google them, I've seen Daily Motion. I haven't visited Daily Motion since back in the day. I forget it exists because of YouTube, honestly. But I don't know. Maybe I'll watch them. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow while I'm working. Watching When the Levees Broke today. It's that long documentary from 2006 or 7 about Hurricane Katrina. Might need a palette cleanser tomorrow. Sitting like, oh, Hurricane Katrina, that was 20 years ago. All right. So we're a month and a couple days out from the wedding. It's getting real now. Ermagerd. Natural, you were so shook. Yeah, I've recognized him a few times, and I'm just like, huh? Oh, you're a real actor. What the heck were you doing on a real short melodrama? But I see them throughout the other. They reuse those actors for all their real short movies. And then I see them throughout. I'm like, oh, that's Celine. Why is she the sister of a prominent mob boss? Why are you? Yeah, why are you on a real TV channel? Why are you on like real programming? CBS. I was an NBC girly myself. Love a good Law and Order binge. But Peacock isn't free anymore, so I should really dust off my DVD player. You know, the only subscription streaming service I have is HBO Max. And technically I get that quote unquote free because they were running a promo where if you linked your DoorDash account and you paid for Dash Pass, you could have. Fuck by my mom's name, and the actor was a suspect on FBI. I was like, oh my god, he's on TikTok trial. Yeah, I have the Dash Pass annual plan, which came with free HBO Max. So. TikTok. I know. I love those. Like, the writing and acting is so over the top, unbelievable, bad, and yet they hit the right formula because it's got me sucked in. Absolutely fixing my attention span. Hello, welcome to the live. All right, first square done. Attached. Woohoo. Where'd my scissors go? Where'd my scissors go? Oh my gosh, where are my scissors? It's bad. I didn't get my materials ready. There they are. Before sitting down and starting. I went to like 3 different grocery stores today while running errands. You went vintage on Sarah's live and stayed up till 4ish. Dang. Yeah, I haven't been able to catch any of the lives because I've been asleep when she goes live. So maybe some night I'll manage to catch one if I like have a day off the next day. Grace, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I get to leave early, work early on Friday, but that's because I'm going to a house inspection. And my birthday is Monday, but I'm going to work because I want the attention. All right. We connected a square. Now let's go down, back to the beginning. All right. I need a flower. So she technically went live on Friday. At midnight. Let's see, Friday. Yeah, I was definitely out like a light by that point. I remember the notification on my phone buzzing and the light, and I was like, huh? Okay. And then I went back to sleep. Which is astounding, because normally I'm the type that, like, once I'm up, I'm up. I'm such a light sleeper, it's not even funny. Which will be exciting when I move, because I'm moving out to the countryside, where it'll actually be quiet at night. But wow, yeah, going live that late, man. Props to her. There's not enough espresso in the world to keep me up that late. Even New Year's Eve is a struggle for me anymore. I need to nap beforehand. Three. You have a 9 to 5. Yeah, and she can work whenever she pleases, because YouTube working hours are whenever you want them to be. So 9 to 5, technically it's a 7 to 3, but I used to work 9 to 5, and then they moved me to the earlier shift. And they don't like it when I have a day off, because then somebody else has to go in at but a clot. You did not know if you had too many symbols, you would get the timeout. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's to prevent weirdos. Otherwise, the Nightbot will get you. Stayed up until 8:30 in the morning, bruh. She's... Gosh. She's a legend is what she is. Yeah, true. Personally, I don't mind the too many symbols. It's not you, it's the many idiots before you who have become the reason why we can't have nice things. They come in, they spam the chat, they ask me weird, uncomfortable questions. That's why I choose the bear. Oh gosh. But yeah, I ran a lot of errands today. Needed to re-up my freezer, dumpling, and pierogi supply and regular groceries. So first I went to Aldi, fought for my life in Aldi. Then I went to the East Asian market, got a bunch of different dumplings for the freezer, and I got a big bag of MSG because I needed more MSG for cooking purposes. And then I went to the Eastern European market in my town, this little Russian market, because I needed bread and pierogies to re-up the freezer and tea and other things they have there. And it's funny because the lady that runs it knows me because I go there relatively often because love me some pierogies. Love me some Russian tea. And yet every time she's absolutely shook when I respond to her in Russian. It's like it's always just long enough between my visits that when I respond to her in Russian, she's like, I'm like, it's me. I mean, I'm nowhere near fluent in Russian. I used to speak a lot more Russian. I can read it. And I mean, I can crochet out in Russian. But I know basic pleasantries like Привет, хахила, спасибо, до свидания. My weird central Pennsylvanian accent, because, yeah. German's the one I'm fluent in, but and yet she just doesn't expect it, which is weird in my area because there's a large, well, there used to be a large Russian population in my area. I remember because when I was in elementary school, half the class was from around the former Soviet Union. And they're the only ones that would play with me, so I kind of learned how to read Russian and speak some of it by osmosis. Your cousin had an overnight birthday party at the Nickelodeon Hotel and brought you back. Wow, that sounds fun. Cool. Gotta post that, Reptar. Send me a picture. Nickelodeon, there's a channel I haven't watched in a while. Wonder what SpongeBob is up to these days. Cool, birthday party. Yeah, I was thinking about having a birthday party for myself this year, but house buying instead, so. Yeah. Allegedly, I haven't seen current SpongeBob episodes. I haven't seen any of the current episodes either. I kind of grew out of Nickelodeon like 15 years ago. Switched over from watching SpongeBob to watching Law and Order. You know, the last time I watched Nickelodeon regularly was when Fairly Odd Parents had Poof the Baby. And then I was kind of like, I don't feel whimsical cartoons anymore. Let's go watch some murder scenes. Let's go watch Elliot Stabler smack some people around. Some prime propaganda, if you will. Because there's no TV for preteens, we ran Victorious and iCarly on loop for the same cousin. Yeah, those were good shows. Creepy producers, but good shows. I liked iCarly. She was a YouTuber before it was a thing. But yeah, there's like no. It's one thing I've noticed. There's like no middle ground TV anymore. It's all for little bitty kids or grown-ups. I don't know if they do boring run-of-the-mill sitcoms anymore. Everything seems to be like 10 episodes, 1 hour long each, mini movies. No longer Victorious. Yeah. I never watched Victorious really, but I've learned all the songs, a lot of the songs, like by just being around them. They're good. That show had some bops. Nickelodeon had a lot of bops. Aging out of it when they were in the heyday, but it was your prime time. Yeah. I think when Victorious premiered, I was nearing the end of high school. But I would catch the music on occasion and I'm like, this is some good catchy stuff. So my favorite back in the day, though, was not. I loved Law and Order back then, but I loved Star Trek reruns. And anime. I had an anime phase. Every so often, one of those songs, one of those like classic weeaboo songs will pop up from back then on TikTok, and it snatches my spinal cord every time. I hear Caramel dancing, and I'm like, whoa! Or Nightcore. I hear Nightcore songs. I'm like, they call it like, oh, TikTok version. No. No. You put an anime girl on it. High pitched, sped up anime girl. Hey, lurkers, be pretty. Yes, please like the live, lurkers. If you don't feel like chatting, at least double tap the screen so the algorithm likes me more. Because, I could really use some extra pocket money right now. I had to write a big check for the house. I have to write a big check for the house inspector, and I am not looking forward to that. Where are the mushroom squares? This basket is stuffed with granny squares, but it feels like I never have the granny squares I need. There they are. It's never the granny squares I need. Yes. Oh my gosh, how am I almost out of traditional ones already? I just made a ton. Bruh. Getting down to the wire here. We're almost done. I still have a bunch more to make, but we're almost done. Finishing that is going to be this month's project. But I'll worry about it after the house inspection. Because that's coming. We got to get through the contingencies and the appraisals and all these new vocabulary words. I had to get a checkbook. I have never written a check in my life. And then I got the checkbook. I was like, okay, now what do I do with it? I was like, can't I just pay the guy in a duffel bag of cash? No, because they need to know where the money came from. I'm like, a birthday card when I was 10. that I squirreled away somewhere because I'm insane. Like, well, you can't pay cash for a lot of the house buying things because then the IRS wants to get involved. I'm like, why does the government want to get involved in my purchases? So hey, chat, how do I write a check? Because, like, yes, I'm a millennial, but I'm on the younger end of the millennial spectrum, so. They never taught us that one. I hear kitty cat feet. God, Rocky was being so bad earlier today. He turned off the internet. Taught us in economics, but I also wish people write checks. I slept through economics in middle school. And then meanwhile, midway through, everything just suddenly moved online. So, like, oh, balancing a checkbook, just check your online transactions. And I was like, okay. But then they were like, oh yeah, for buying a house, you need a checkbook. They might have, I don't know. It was part of home ec, talking about financial stuff, but I was like, oh, math, goodbye. Hi, Guinness. Guinness, did you fart? Eyes are watering. Did you fart? Come down here to fart. Yeah, I never had like a economics class. It was just like home ec. They're like, here's how to make a coffee cake. Here's how to read a nutrition label. Here's how to do laundry. Here's how to sew. As soon as anything math involved came, I was like, all right, dissociation, instant dissociation button. Anything involving numbers was just like, I can't do this. So we're just gonna zone out and hope for the best. I think let's do home ec. That, yeah, home ec was part of middle school. You would take it for like one semester and then you'd switch to like a technology class, and then the kids in the technology class would switch to the home ec. But that was only for the first 2 years of middle school. But then if you got into the advanced language classes, you, instead of the technology class or the home ec, you ended up in just full-time in language. So just 6th grade I was in home ec and the technology class, and then I got into the advanced language program. So everybody else went off to learn how to sew. I was off learning about verb conjugation in German. Which is great because I speak German. It's my second language, but how do I write a check? How do I do taxes? And then they're saying, oh, well, when you buy the house, part of closing costs for the house I'm buying, I got to pay a year worth of property taxes up front. And they're like, oh, for that, you'll need a cashier's check. You can't use a personal check. And I'm like, there's different kinds? What? And I'm like, y'all take Venmo? Or PayPal? Or can I just swipe my debit card? Why has it got to be so complicated? Of course, there's different kinds. They just had to go and complicate everything. Nothing in life can ever be easy. Like, check's a check. Why does it matter what kind of check? That's when I realized I did not pay attention in math class because George Bush said no child left behind. I should have been left behind. They should have known something was up when I was shown a double-digit number for the first time. Like, okay, what's this? I'm like, 3-6. You're like, no. I'm like, but that's a 3 and a 6, so why is it not 3-6? My brain still automatically defaults to that, even though I had to figure out these numbers through sheer memorization. My brain still defaults to that. Aaliyah, this is why you do all my crochet math for me. Hi, Mom. Mommy's here. Just missed me complaining about George Bush. Freshen up my topics of complaints. Just got home? Cool. figured instead of complaining about the trash contractor tonight because, well, they haven't had an opportunity to piss me off since Tuesday, let's complain about George Bush. Younger. The younger Bush. Hello, welcome to the live. Welcome to chat. I mean, I'll gladly complain about Bush Sr. any day, but I don't have any memory of him. Other than former President George Bush and current President George Bush, and my brain being like, there's two. And then kids these days that are like, Texas Republican, run for president again, they need an extra intelligence test. Yes. Yes. No, but like I see all these like hot takes on the internet that are like, oh, I miss George Bush. He was funny. I'm like, clearly y'all don't remember or weren't alive for Bush Jr.'s presidency, because that dude was awful. I'm like, no, you don't miss the Bush presidency. I don't. Like, it was pretty bad under him. My Cuculate friends are sending me good thoughts. Oh, I'm glad. Yes, send those good thoughts that this house passes inspection, because then that holds up my end of the contingency. And then we just have to get through the appraisal and the seller's contingencies. And then we just sit and wait. Financials is all pretty much taken care of. But yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's so unfair that George Bush Jr. is getting a redemption arc of sorts. I'm like, that man's a war criminal. That's what they're all hoping for, yeah. Oh boy, yeah. In other house buying adventure things, I had no idea that mailboxes were so expensive. It's one of those things I didn't realize. Like, the grand scheme of thing, I'm sitting here, I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, texting with him, and I was like, okay, so things I always thought were really expensive, but are actually not that bad. I just started crocheting at the end, not the working yarn. I'm meh. Sorry guys, gotta focus. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Now I'm crocheting with the proper yarn. If you're just joining the live, welcome. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of fun here. Connecting, excuse me, millions of granny squares. And I complain about politics of the early 2000s. But yes, things I thought were expensive but are actually not that bad. Electric bills in small houses. If you don't leave every light on. And postage stamps. Things I thought were affordable but are actually very expensive. Couches and mailboxes. I was looking online. I'm like, why is this standard run-of-the-mill mailbox $400? I thought they were like $20. Boy, was I wrong. Wonder if I can get one off of Temu. 20 cents. I can't read that, but welcome. Meant to ask questions. Well, I just always hear people complaining about, oh, the prices. Yeah, the ones at Lowe's are expensive, Dad. Thinking stamps are expensive. Well, the way all the boomers in my area complained about, oh, the price of postage is going up. And like, I haven't bought stamps in forever because they're always just been around my house. I'm like, I could look anywhere and probably find a small book of them. feels like everyone in my local area is like, oh, the price of stamps. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, the last time I bought stamps was, actually went and bought stamps, was when they cost pennies. But then I recently had to order a book of stamps because a lot of the local craft shows I apply to, like, I pay cash for all my vendor fees. And they're like, okay, mail it here. And I'm like, okay. So I had to get stamps to do that. And I got a whole book of them for pretty, like, $10. I'm like, why y'all complaining about this? It's one banana. How much can it cost? $10? Well, apparently. Smelling like their big thing. Yeah. I mean, trust me, I love a good complaining session, but bruh. There are several things I'm with the boomers on. Like, I don't want a Wi-Fi enabled washing machine. The government does not need to track my laundry habits. And QR code menus. Just hand me a piece of paper. Alright, we got another square connected. Woohoo! What time is it? It's a little after 8 o'clock. Alright. Hello, Zuzu. Hello, Zuzu. Zuzu came down to say hi. Zuzu. My Zoopy Zoo. Okay. Alright, regular square. Making good progress tonight, guys. I would love to use up all the squares in the basket, but I don't think we'll be able to use all of them tonight, just because there's a lot. I have been working on it off camera. Hi, Zuzu. I hear your meows. Hi, Zuzu. Bye, Zuzu. The boys are asleep. Yeah, oh, 3 cats and I. We took a nap in a big pile earlier. Yeah. Oh, hi, Rocky. Yeah, we're Very close to being done with this blanket. And the wedding is so soon. Ah. Where is Zuzu? She's just going up and down and up and down. She's running around being Zuzu. You have to use your phone light so you won't step on me. Oh, I did the same thing when I'm up in the morning. They like to congregate outside my door right in the beginning of the morning, so. Then they like bum rush me. They walk you to the bathroom. I would say mine do the same, but they don't walk me to the bathroom. They interfere with my walking and try to trip me until I feed them. Because they're little goblins that like to eat at 5 in the morning when I'm up. They love their foods. You walk ahead for that reason. Yeah, that might work better. Come on, get. There we go. Yelling at my yarn again. I think definitely when I move, I'm going to do what Passionate Kelsey did and use the yarn as stuffing to protect things in boxes, like plates and stuff. Instead of bubble wrap, I'll just use yarn. Only for a second. Mine have no manners. Let's see. Oop, oop. Adonis is the main culprit. Sounds like Adonis is the main culprit of many things. He's an entity of chaos, which is great. Love cats that are entities of chaos. There we go. Right. Mushroom. Look at that. We're almost done with a whole row. What are you digging at up there? He lets you win going up. Aha. At least he lets you win every once in a while. Gosh, I had a cat that loved to race up and down the stairs when he was little. His name was Kitty. And he was a larger than life tuxedo cat. Loved to race me up and down the stairs. I think he does it on purpose. He probably does. From the sounds of it, Adonis is a person that got that pissed off a witch, got cursed, and decided to roll with it. I mean, if I got turned into a cat by a witch, I would make it everybody's problem. Gleefully make it everybody's problem. And we've just hit the 1 hour mark being live. So like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Please. Get those numbers up. That's some rookie numbers here. So close to my first 1,000 subscribers, I can almost taste it. Like that's one of the 2024 goals, if you watch that video, was maintain a good posting schedule, get to at least 1,500, which if we could just at least break 1,000, then I think we could break 1,500. and writing to publish a pattern, which will happen at some point, probably in November. I'll write down my beanie pattern. Love to get that out in November. Favorite wrestlers for return to WWE after 10 years yesterday. I had so much joy last night. Glad to hear that. Gotta admit, I don't know a single thing about professional wrestling, but I imagine like it's like your favorite character coming back to life. So sounds fun. I know wrestling, it looks fun. There we go. Another square attached. Woo! Gosh, you know what's been stuck in my head recently? That parody of Video Killed the Radio Star, Radioactive Shrimp from Walmart. That has been stuck in my head for almost a week now. Like, it's playing in my head right now. I'm like, really? We're crocheting. Why am I little DJ in my brain decided radioactive shrimp from Walmart time? And unlike Sarah at Crochet Vision, I do not have a good singing voice, so I'm not going to torture you all with that. Literally, when I try to sing songs to the babies in my class at work, they hit me in the face until I stop. Like, the little 5-month-old just starts going, if I try to sing to her, she just starts smacking my face until I stop. That's how bad my singing voice is. Every time I get someone in the classroom, like, oh, why don't you sing to them? They don't like it. For once, one director we had was like, you need to be singing all the time. And I'm like, they don't like it. And she's like, oh, I'm sure. So I sang to one of the babies in front of her and literally shoved their hand in my mouth so I would stop. I was like, I told you. Completely tone deaf here. Gosh, I was letting the babies play with yarn this past week, though. It was so cute. I brought in some... Wait, what state are you in? Denial. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in Pennsylvania. Good old PA. Go Birds. Ah, you're right next door. Ohio. Indiana, PA. That's a bit far from where I am, Indiana, PA. It's about a 2-hour drive. Indiana, PA. That's kind of near Punxsutawney Phil, which I've seen Punxsutawney Phil. I've been to Punxsutawney before in the off season. I did not go for Groundhog Day. I'm not that crazy. My dad went to see Punxsutawney Phil for Groundhog Day in February of 2019. And like they don't actually let you drive into the town. You have to you go to another town at a Walmart like a half hour away and then they bus you in. And like the town shuts down, school's off. All hands on deck at all the shops cuz Punxsutawney from Gobbler's Knob is pretty walkable. So they just have everybody park at a Walmart or large parking lot like half hour away and bus everybody in and then bus them back out to their cars after all the fun events. And then, yeah. It's a smooth operation, one I do not want to experience. I went and visited in the summer when there were no tourists and it was nice and quiet. And this is my necklace represent. It's just the Orthodox cross. Did I do enough chains there? No, I did not do enough chains. I forgot a chain. Too busy talking about a groundhog that protects the weather, a rodent that protects the weather. And then there's Gus, who sells you lottery tickets. What does that mean? It's my religion, Eastern Orthodox. But yeah. And then there's Phil, the most famous groundhog in Pennsylvania. And then there's Gus, the one that encourages you to gamble. The second most favorite. Buy Pennsylvania lottery tickets. Helping Pennsylvania seniors every day. No. No, I used to spend way too much money on scratchy tickets. So whenever those commercials of Gus come on the radio at Christmas time, I'm like, my arch enemy, my old nemesis. Boy, this skein is getting pretty empty here. Good thing I've got like 3 more. Probably pause a minute and take some vlog clips. Which reminds me, I gotta do a lot of video editing tomorrow. And get next week's vlog ready. Is that good? That's good. Yes. All right. Flower square. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like the live and subscribe. All that good stuff. Hit all those buttons. Make the algorithm like me a little more. I'm trying my best here. We're making really good progress tonight. We've almost got this whole row completed. And then we will keep going. And keep going until either I'm too tired or we run out of squares. Which the basket is full of them, so I don't think we're going to run out anytime too soon. Hi, Slay Queen. Hi, Slay Queen. Welcome to the live. Hope you're having a good day, good evening, good night, wherever. Whatever. Yeah, today's been all right. Ran a lot of errands earlier today, so I'm tired. But traffic was not bad, so it wasn't horrible. Ugh. I'm okay. I am working on my giant granny square blanket for my brother. We're connecting granny squares this evening. Gotta. Thank you, Aaliyah. Yeah. Big sneeze. Yeah, we are getting down to the. We are nearing the end of this blanket. I just have like a few more squares I need to make, which I'm holding on off on the last few just because I'm going to film a tutorial for them, which will be sometime in the coming days that I'll film it, and then I'll release those probably in October. As like a big lead up to the day the blanket is finished. And I'll proceed to sit here and not know what to do with myself when it's done. I think I've talked about it on live before. I think the next big blanket project is going to be a double temperature blanket. Using historical data. Alrighty. Yet another square attached. Woo! Got 2 more to go in this row. A regular and then a mushroom. Hi, Zuzu. Are you meowing? We're just at the hour-and-a-half mark, so we might run out of squares at this rate before I jump off of live. You're gonna fight for your dinner. Adonis, let Aaliyah eat her dinner, please. Be a good boy. She needs to eat to be able to buy you treats. That's what I always tell my cats when they try to prevent me from going out the door in the morning. I'm like, look, you gotta let me go to work if you want me to keep buying you food. Is it raining again? Yeah, it's raining again. It's been a dreary day. which is fine. I mean, I love a good dreary day in fall. But it was weirdly humid while I was out shopping. Like, it's not hot. Lovely fall temperatures, but why is it so humid? It was annoying, really. Excuse me. Basically got an eye roll. Yeah. Typical cat. If cats could roll their eyes, they would. Absolutely. All the time. Be rolling them. Zuzu especially. There we go. Okay. And we just hit the hour-and-a-half mark. Woohoo! And I'm not feeling overly tired yet, so we'll just... This row's almost done. I'm not overly tired, so let's just keep going until I can't go on anymore because of lack of squares. Try and take my pizza from me for 7 minutes. My goodness, Adonis. I mean, pizza is pretty good. Love pizza. Remember one time when I went to visit my brother and sister-in-law in Pittsburgh, we went to this place that had breakfast pizza. And that was really good. Hey, we can share. I'm just disappointed when I didn't give in. Pizza is not for kitties. I promise that is not just anti-cat propaganda. Give them wicked farts. Even dust bunnies. Ew, buddy, no. Those leave you hairballs. Don't eat the dust bunnies, Adonis. Or any other kitties that may be watching, don't eat dust bunnies. Speaking of kitties, my lazy bums haven't come to pay their dues yet. But meh. They're chilling. Gave them a snack so they would let me nap earlier so they're not hungry. So they're just chilling on the couch upstairs in a big pile. But Zuzu keeps coming down, yelling at me, and then going back. We won't eat a hairball, but we'll eat dust. Ugh. It's not nutritionally complete. Not good for you. Not good for kitty tummies. Really not good for kitty tummies. Okay, we need a mushroom square. And then, chat, I think I ran out of regular squares again. But that's okay. I'll just attach what I can tonight. I have a bunch more regular squares up on the blocking board, so. Life is good. We've got plenty of squares. You're bored? Hi, bored. I'm Grace. Maybe you should crochet something. Hi, is this fun for you? Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm just old. Crocheting is pretty fun. You should think of something. You should try it sometime. I've been doing this since 1996. 1999, not 1996. I keep flipping the 9 in my head. I've been alive since before 1996. But I've been crocheting since 1999. You could pass for 35? Well, I would certainly hope so. Considering I haven't gotten carded in I don't know how many years. I'll get... Love you too, Mom. Good night. Sleep tight. Talk to you later. Yeah, no, I haven't been asked to show ID for age purposes. And do you sell your stuff? Yes, I do. I have a website. Nightbot's been cycling it through the chat. smallpinecrafts.square.site. Excuse me. I sell many things. What do you like about crocheting? Just keeps your mind off of things. It's kind of like a fidget, but you get something out of it. I don't know, it's very peaceful. I like making things. It's something to do with my hands at all the time. I guess you're right, it does keep my mind off of things. Which is good, because, yeah. Anxiety. Yeah, and that's what I like about it more than like a regular fidget toy. Because I do struggle with just sitting there and not doing something with my hands. But everyone has anxiety. Yeah, I like that it's more talked about. Considering that before I got medicated, I would stay up all night watching the carbon monoxide detectors because I was afraid they would go off. Too hard, couldn't do it. Knitting can be hard. It isn't as forgiving as crochet. Like, I wouldn't say crocheting is easier. I'd say crochet is more forgiving. You only have like one stitch at a time to worry about with crocheting, whereas with knitting, every stitch is dependent on all the other stitches. So it's not as forgiving. Like, you could drop a stitch, make a mistake, and the whole thing could unravel. Whereas crocheting, as long as you secure your ends properly, it shouldn't unravel. I mean, you can't really drop a stitch. Because unless you're doing like a super complex swirly crochet pattern, you only have the one active stitch right here. I can do both, but I'm definitely much better at crocheting than I am at knitting. And it's the family business, yes. My grandmother on my dad's side was a prolific crocheter to deal with her anxiety, and they didn't have anti-anxiety meds at the time, so she just made blankets. The more blankets she made, the more faster she was, the more anxious she was, so hence why my grandmother produced multiple king-sized granny square blankets over her lifetime. Whereas this is my first king-sized blanket. Usually I don't go much bigger than a throw blanket. But this is a gift for a wedding gift, so. Yay, we finished a row! I'm gonna weave this end and count them up, see how many more rows I actually have left to go. I'm just weaving the end in here because then when I'm done, I can just flip the blanket over and cut them all off. I've got enough ends cut off and saved that I can probably stuff a pillow with them, a matching pillow with them. All right, let's count the rows of granny squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means I've got 3 rows of granny squares left, and the main part of the blanket will be done. Wow. I'm working on this literally since January. Okay. So let's start row 11 with a traditional granny square. And then once again, I have run out of traditional granny squares. I have 1 left. Which is a little ridiculous because honestly, I feel like the other day I just sat and made nothing but these. What do you mean I've used them up already? But whatever. It's going. Shoot, I left my water upstairs. Dang it. Everybody remember to drink your water, stay hydrated. Take your medication, switch your laundry. Get the mail if you haven't yet already. Reminds me, I gotta open up that package from Vistaprint. I ran out of washing instruction cards that I send with all purchases from my website, and I give them out at craft shows with a repurchase, and I ran out from my last craft show. Because craft show is popping. Yes, I did remember to chain. Sometimes muscle memory takes over and I forget to put a chain in between each of these because the regular squares I don't put a chain in between each clusters, but when I'm doing the connecting rounds I do put a chain in between each cluster so that it doesn't bunch up a bunch. Bunch up a bunch. Last bit of the skein here. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live, subscribe, hang out, chat for a bit, lurk if you want, but please like the live if you're just gonna lurk. I'm trying to get the algorithm to like me more so that I can make more fun crochet content. All right, I'm just gonna quickly ball this little bit up. Since we're at the part of it where it tangles and is annoying. This is the annoying part of the skein where it just turns into a mess. It's all right. It's all good. Roll up this little bit and we will be golden. Been getting your hair done tomorrow, so you're taking it out. Cool, cool. Getting a nice hair styling. That sounds fun. Big knots. Annoying. All right. Here we go. Nicely rolled up, taken care of. The scalp massage is your favorite part. Oh. I have not gotten my hair done in such a long time. I haven't had an actual haircut since 2019. No one ever sees it, obviously, so I just kind of trim it myself. Scalp massage does sound very nice, though. All right. Mushroom. Granny square. Also gonna grab the neck clip and take some. Hello. Where'd you come from? Vlog clips. Just content creator things. I hear a Guinness. There we go. Okay. I see a Rocky. It's my boys, my kitty boys. Excuse me. Can y'all let me take a vlog clip before jumping up on me? Okay, and woven in. There, vlog clip taken. Rocky, please don't turn the internet off again. Second chat, I gotta chase him out from near the router button. Rocky, no. No. Good boy. Okay. Shoot. Say, where did it go? There did it go. Okay, let's get this resituated. There we go. Okay. go. Making good progress. And we're just about to hit the 2-hour mark. How fun. Been live for almost 2 hours. Wow. Wow. Hi, Rocky. Done with that. This little bit, set it over here. I'm gonna probably have to go grab another skein of that. But we got the mushroom square connected. The bug. Rocky, don't turn the internet off. Stop going into there. Here we go. And woven in. All right, chat. I'm gonna get up for like 2 seconds just to grab the other skein. So BRB. Excuse me, Rocky. All right. Got it. Okay. I just did a mushroom square. So now we're going to grab a regular square. And connect that. Then a flower, and then I'm out of regular squares, so we'll go from there. Seems to be the running themes of these granny square connecting lives. I always end up running out of these traditional ones. After spending the whole time thinking, oh yeah, I have plenty to finish the row. No. I think every single live where I've been connecting these squares, I've run out of the regular ones. go. Wait, I did not do enough chains there. 3 chains. Hey, Rocky baby. Rocky. 1 second, chat. My cat's trying to turn the internet off. Rocky, no. Out. No, thank you. And they say, why is your router on the floor? My router is not on the floor. It's the power supply the router is connected to. Yeah, I don't know. There's something under there I think he wants. I'll have to go digging under there tomorrow morning because he keeps climbing onto the power supply that the router is plugged into. Because my router's not plugged directly into the wall. It's plugged into a giant battery, which is then plugged into the wall. So that if, like, the power goes out, we still have internet. For, like, an hour. And we still have a lamp for, like, an hour. Which really came in handy earlier this year. If y'all saw that one vlog where the power went out in the middle of me working on a baby blanket. And I had to pitch a tent in my living room by my fireplace because it was so cold out. But no electricity. Hello from North Carolina. Beautiful blanket behind you. Thank you. My grandmother made this big one back in the 70s. And it has held up quite nicely. Almost had debt forgiveness because he hadn't paid his due. Yeah. We almost did, and then he went and decides he's going to try and turn the internet off. I think one of his toys got knocked down there. I'll look later. Rocky. Come up. Stop messing with the power supply and come up. Sir. Good boy. Here's his butt. Here's Rocky. Hello, Rocky. Kitty tax paid. Yes, we paid the kitty tax. Rocky, my tabby. Don't go knocking everybody over now, buddy. All the money's in escrow right now, so if they sue me for pain and suffering, it's coming to your paycheck. Resume your business. Yes, resume your business of trying to turn the internet off. What kind of Hershey house are you working with? I am currently using Clover Amour. It's the one I'm using right now. They're the ones I use most often. But I do have many other kinds of hooks as well. I know I have a bunch of Prim hooks, a bunch of Clover knockoff hooks, and I have this really nice fat hand-carved wooden one. This is not a Furls. I got this at a local fiber festival back in March. And it's a lot like a Furls, but it's not a Furls. And it's a lot cheaper than a Furls. I would love to get a Furls hook, but it's hard for me to justify paying $25 for a crochet hook I don't know if I'm gonna like or not. And I mean, I don't really like the style of head Furls hooks are. They're inline style. I don't like inline style crochet hooks. I prefer either hybrid or tapered. Which, I've got an example of all three. Would you look at that? Let's do a crochet hook head lesson. So here's an inline hook. This is a Susan Bates. I do not like that hook head style. I don't know. I don't like Susan Bates. This is just a generic tapered. This kind is my favorite. It's tapered. And then this is a Clover Amore. This is a hybrid. So it's got the head shape of the tapered, but the neck part of inline. So there you go. But this is a Clover Amore. This one's plastic. They're 6.5 and up sizes are plastic. Oh, look who's here. Hi, Guinness. Here's the black cat paying his dues. He's a good boy. Even if he did make off with a piece of waffle this morning. But, yeah. Did you just fart? You farted in my face. And I just said you were a good boy. Alright. Oh. Good thing I grabbed that other skein. This is why I like Hirschners. They come with these easy start tabs in the middle. Quick pause to, excuse me, magic knot these together. Getting old is no fun. Last time I had reflux problems was when I was a baby. What do you mean those come back when you get older? Thought I was done with that nonsense. Ugh, let me say, aging has not been a very fun experience, guys. Righty, there we go, there we go. Just course I had to add the Neoscanny yarn on at the very end here for literally just a few more stitches, but whatever. It do be that way. So, oh no. Looks like we're gonna have some yarn barf. Ow! Stab myself. It's fine, there's no blood. It's fine. Hi, Guinness. I know you're gonna want to go to bed soon. Okay, so that was the last traditional granny square. Let's do a flower. Do I have any more traditional ones in there? No, I do not. We have run out of traditional granny squares. We've got plenty of flowers and mushrooms, so we could certainly work to attach those. Yes, Guinness. All right, both boys paid their dues for the night, so. And Zuzu's already appeared on camera a couple times this year, so she's probably done for a while. Hello, welcome to the live. Just weaving an end in here. Couldn't tell if Janice was going up or down. Gray square pocket purse, but no, it goes in the blanket. Yeah, it goes in the blanket, but if we have any more left over, that would be a good idea. As I think I'll have some of these colors left over. Well, I'll definitely have some of them left over. And I'll definitely put some aside just in case for future repair purposes. Don't speak too soon or the yarn chicken will get you. Yeah, and really can't be playing yarn chicken with this one because I reallotted my budget for house buying purposes, so can't buy any more. Trying to avoid buying any more yarn until after I close on the house. And I've been good so far, but if I do buy any more yarn, it'll be using the Michaels gift card that I have. Which my birthday is on Monday, and I think family, we're going to go out to dinner, and then we're going to probably go to Michael's afterwards. House closing going to be stressful? Yeah. All these new vocabulary words I've learned. But first we got to get through the inspection, which is this upcoming week. Because my offer is contingent on like the house not needing any major work in the next couple years. So if that passes, then I just got to get through appraisal, and then I'm all set. Like, all the financials are in motion. I just have to wait on the seller's contingencies, because they're selling, agreeing to me on them finding somewhere to live. It's a complicated story. They were facing foreclosure if they couldn't sell the house, but they couldn't find anywhere to live until like they knew how much money they'd be getting. So their financials have to come through, and they have to find somewhere to live, and then I get to close on the house. So, but luckily that part, that can be pushed back, like if we have to push back the closing day. Sold and refused to move out even. Yeah. Which I've already said, take the time you need, because I don't feel like renting it back to you. Like, I won't move in. I'm buying this. I'm getting my money's worth. I'm going to live here. And I mean, it's not a current rental, so. Just a family that hasn't really made the best financial decisions. But all my paperwork is filed, so. Of course, now I start needing to shell out money for the closing costs. Like, I gotta pay the inspector. We're doing an extra pest inspection. We're doing some, like, water testing. Get them on the right path again. Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, from digging through the property records, they way overpaid for the house back during the pandemic. Like, what they paid to buy the house is not what the house was worth. Definitely by a long shot. And I'm buying it from them under listing price. And their realtor said, you have to take this offer, because I'm the only person that was putting an offer in on this house. Because, like, it's a nice house. It's just, it's so far removed from any major population that not even, like, corporations were putting offers in to turn it into a rental. Like, there's a post office, there's a volunteer-run library, and there's a bar, and that's it. That's it. That's the town. So. Which, like, something like that is what I want, what I've been looking for. Yeah, but they gotta climb up a mountain to get to me. Gotta cross a river and go up a mountain. So. But yeah, so, like, no one else was interested in this house because it's small and far out of the way. And I was not giving them asking price. Because they were asking for way too much. And I was like, this is not. Maybe you'll get enough left over for me. I most likely will. Because we negotiated a lot, and I'm actually going to be saving a lot of money because I said, okay, I'll go closer to listing price. But I want all your appliances. And their realtor was like, you got to take this offer. This is the only one. So they're getting the money, and I don't have to buy appliances. Except a rice cooker. That's pretty much it. Like, I even negotiated their coffee maker. Yeah, so. I put in my first offer. They said no, so I added an additional $10K. But all the appliances, which I would have probably ended up spending that $10K on getting my own appliances. So. Or I would have ended up needing that $10K to get appliances anyway, I should say. So. It just has to pass the inspection, because if it needs major work, I'm walking away and being like, no, I need something I can move into and not need to worry for at least a couple years. Pay storage on it, much less to pay for a truck. Yeah. Yeah, and they're like big, bulky appliances, but none of them are smart appliances, which is what I liked. Like, it's an old stove from like the early 2000s. Nice basic refrigerator, freezer, chest freezer. Really nice top loading washing machine. With no bells or whistles. It's got like off, on. That's it. That's all I want. Yeah, no, I don't want a Wi-Fi toaster. I don't need the government knowing my toasting habits. Remember, I was with my parents buying a new washer for our house now. And the guy was really trying to sell us on this Wi-Fi capable one so that, like, you could download an app and delay the start to your laundry. And I'm like, no. He said, no, I want you to point me to the dumbest machine in this joint. And I am going to miss that washing machine because it was a really nice top loader with a little squirt gun attachment so you could target stains. But it actually belongs to my dad, so. But it works out because the washer that I'll be getting with this house is the exact same washing machine we have at work, and I know that one can take a beating. So I will have a nice sturdy washer and dryer. And chest freezer, and air conditioners, and refrigerator, and stove, and microwave, and coffee maker. So yeah, not only am I getting their house under specific golden brown in my toast, I just want toast. Chest free, oh yeah. Well, especially since I live in Pennsylvania, so, you know, deer. Like, a chest freezer is like a regular refrigerator here, around here. Even in the urban area where I am, everybody's got a chest freezer. Because hunting is such a big part of culture here. Like, I have one right now, and my dad was like, no, you can't have it. Get your own. Well, guess what? I negotiated and got one of my own. But yeah, just chest freezer is mandatory in Pennsylvania. And I don't hunt, but I have a lot of friends that do. And they're all really good, and they always get really big deer, and then they offload meat onto me, and it's wonderful. Which is why I know it's getting near deer season, because I'm running low on meat. And why go to the store and pay money for meat when I can just call up one of my friends? 2.5 gray hairs. Oh, girly. I found a bunch this morning when I was brushing my hair, getting ready for a long day of vlogging and crocheting and making things for Halloween, and finding more and more every day. And I'm like, no, I thought I had longer. Oh well. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to move to a quiet, more rural area. I'm gonna miss being less than a mile away from my job, but I'm not gonna miss noise and noisy neighbors at night. Because where I'm headed, there are no neighbors. I'm basically moving to a postage stamp. All right, I'm out of regular granny squares, but we've got plenty of the fancy ones, so I think without any more of the regular squares, I think I can attach a couple more of these. Let's see. Just did a mushroom flower. Two and a half hour mark. And you know what? Let's just, what time is it? Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's see, how many squares do I have left? I think I can connect at least 2 more on this row of the blanket. Jeez. thought someone was at the door. It's just the cat scratching the door. Listen, please don't turn this live into a pay-per-view fight of me fighting a robber or somebody in the door. It's just the cat scratching something they shouldn't have. For some reason, it sounded like the door opening. And I know it's not the door actually opening because the door is right there and it's closed. Stop scratching the door. They're trying to stress me into a heart attack. Which I don't know why, because you're not the beneficiaries of my life insurance policy. You have nothing to gain by me having a heart attack. They wouldn't let me name the cat as the beneficiary. Apparently you have to name a human as the beneficiary. Stupid government telling me what I can and can't do. Now they're chasing each other upstairs. Can't win. Losing 2.5 gray hairs is a win. I mean, yeah. It means you have less gray hairs. Some of your stem cells have refused to accept the working conditions. Like a Superman curl, but it's not long enough. So you have 2.5 hair at all. That's not so much. True, true. Then you lose all your hair. I'll have to make that joke to my dad later and then see if I can still dodge rolled up newspapers. You have more than 2.5 hairs. Well, that's good. Hi, Rocky. You want to go to bed? All right. Let me see how many more squares I can connect, and then we'll go to bed, Rocky. Yeah, kitties want to go to bed soon. They're starting to congregate and stare at me. Like, it's our turn for the house now, so you need to go to bed. So let me just see how many squares I can connect. These colors are awesome together. Thank you. Yeah, Hirschner's was selling them in a pack. The pre-zoomy stare. Yes. Yeah, Hirschner's was selling these 4 colors together in a pack. Specifically coordinated to match this variegated. And I remember I was trying to pick out the yarn for this project, and I held it up to my brother and sister-in-law. I'm like, all right, pick something. And they picked this pack. And it is glorious. It's the Hirschner's Worst to Date Celebrate Thanksgiving pack, color pack. Right. I can connect 1 mushroom square here. Connect a mushroom square here, and I can connect a flower square here. So I can connect 3 more squares before I have to stop, because I don't have any of these traditional ones to go in the middle. So the question is, will the kitties allow me to do so? Also, I just lost my scissors. So we're going to connect at least this one. And then, I don't know. Shouldn't take too long. We could probably go for 3 hours tonight. Let's see, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Traditional ones are always the ones you make the least of. Yeah, I know. Well, it feels like they're the ones I make the most of off camera. Like, I always have so many of them. It feels like I always have so many of them, and they're the ones that I use the most of. Make it as you go, hard to stare at stack of squares out. Yeah. No, I would make a bunch, connect what I can, make a bunch, connect what I can, make a bunch, connect what I can. When I get tired of making, I connect, and when I'm tired of connecting, I make. But we're in the final stretch, so. But I know the traditional ones are the ones that get used up for this the most. Like when I was doing the initial chart, also available under the live. Yeah, it's true. I've been chronicling this journey all year, starting with some shorts back in January. And then when this is probably done, I'll probably just make a big playlist of all the lives, all the shorts, all the videos. Makes sense, and many others will start another whip instead. Yeah. And plus, this is one where I can like leave and come back to it. Since it is a king size thing, like if I get tired of making squares, I can just go do another project for a while, but it'll still be here. But it also helps that I have a deadline. And my brother and my very type A sister-in-law waiting for it. But yeah, I think when this is done, I'm going to make a big playlist of all the shorts, all the lives, all the vlogs where I worked on this. The big 2025 blanket project. What should I make in 2026? Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do the dual temperature blanket. Can't do blanket size projects in the hot weather. Yeah, that's why it's taken me a while to get to connecting, because it's just been so hot and miserable here. Like, we've had a miserable summer here in this part of Pennsylvania. It's just been hot and humid, but we haven't had any good thunderstorms to like vacuum up the humidity. I hate to say it, but we need like a hurricane remnant to come through, because that's usually what alleviates so much of the summer heat. Is we get the remnants of hurricanes and they come through and suck up all the humidity and take it back out to the ocean. But I haven't had any of that. Or the ones that did look like they were going to come hit us dissipated, or they went back out to the ocean and skipped over Pennsylvania. I'm like, no, come back. Get this humidity. They're nature's air conditioners. At least here, they're nature's air conditioners. Luckily, but in my area, usually the hurricanes have dissipated enough that they don't cause any major problems here. 3.5 hairs. You found another. Oh boy. Rocky, turning off the Wi-Fi will not make me go to bed faster. Rocky, no.